Hey, girl. Hey, welcome back to the Organic Marketing Simplified podcast. Today, we are talking about what to do if you're feeling behind in life already. Maybe the end of December or like early January, you set some goals for yourself and you had like all these things that you wanted to hit, and life happened, and it is now February, and you're like, oh, snap. What happened here? I've already screwed it up for the year, right? And I know that with January comes, like, it's still like this natural flow of like it's a fresh start, and if you like mess it up, you've messed up real big. But I'm here to tell you that that's actually not true, because my January was like super crazy busy, and I still found out a way to bring it all together and like get a fresh start, and like have my own new year. So let's talk about what to do. It's February, you messed up in air quotes, January, and you got off track, or I don't know, maybe you were sick, or maybe like something crazy happened and it was just things outside of your control and you feel behind and it sucks. And I know the feeling. So I was watching this video by this YouTuber. I think her name is Kaylee, and her channel is called The First Coffee. And she talks a lot about productivity and like organization and things like that. And she had talked about, it was actually one of her shorts. She had mentioned how she uses like this $1 notebook to organize her life. And I really liked her idea. So the idea is that you're gonna go, to wherever your heart desires, like the dollar store or Walmart or Target or whatever, and you're gonna get yourself a notebook, kind of like, like I imagine it's like an 8x10 type of notebook. So one of like the big ones, not the little ones, and get whatever. Like mine has unicorns on it because why not? My daughter thought it was for her. She was very disappointed to find out it was for me. And then what I did was, so I actually just got this notebook. And by the way, at the time of this recording, it is January 26th. And I just got this notebook like a few days ago. So I want to go over with you how I broke it down. So on the very first page, I just set for myself like the tasks that I need to do daily, weekly, and monthly in general in my business. Like those are the things that I want to be working on in 2023. I do not want to get out of doing these things for my business in 2023. Like these are the things that I'm focusing on. I have actually my top 3 things that I'm focusing on this year. I have my goal set, to be quite honest with you, as far as business goal, I only have one goal for my business this year. So that is on the very first page of the notebook. So then when you turn the page, then you're going to have like a full spread of the notebook, right? So you can kind of go crazy here and do your thing. What I decided to do was have like a master to-do list of things that are more like not so much for me as they are for like the team. So if I have to check in with somebody for the team, like there's something that I don't do but the team does, like that goes in this like master to-do list. Or if it's something that, again, like maybe I need worksheets for a course that I'm promoting or something, it goes in this master to-do list. So this master is things that I have to do with the team, or the team is doing it for me, and I have to just check in with them. So then, I have a full spread dedicated to this master to-do list, and I imagine it'll be enough. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe a full spread, meaning like 2 pages. It's not going to be enough. We'll find out. So then I turn over the page to the next full spread, and I wrote down January 2023. Like I literally like started doing this on January 26th. Okay. So I just wrote down January, and I put in like some things that I need to do, like some of my to-dos. And then I put in some notes of things that I need to remember to like ask somebody in the team or something like that. And then when February comes, and this is where Kaylee's video comes in handy, is what she does is that she opens up the month to a new spread, right? So like in my case, it'll be February. And then I will write, like, I'll have like different goals, like for different areas of my life. So in my case, I'm going to keep this notebook just for work related, so for my business. But what Katie does is that she uses like this notebook for her whole life. So she puts like home things in there and like work things and business things all on her planner. I'm doing it differently where I'm just using it for business. And when February comes, I am going to have like goals for myself and like things that I want to work on, projects and things like that. And that'll go in this full spread. And then I'm going to open up another full spread. So I'm going to, lift the page, and then I am going to separate my days out by weeks, right? So then I'll have like week 1 of February, and then like Monday through Friday, I'll have like the different things that I need to do, different things that I need to work on. If I need to follow up with somebody, that'll go in there. And I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I just started this January, like at the end of January, right? So I'm not quite sure that I'll even need a full spread. I might just have, I might just do like on one page for the month of, say, like February. I'll write all my goals down, and then I can start breaking them up into weeks in the next page. I'm not quite sure. I'm not so hung up on the details here, to be super honest, but this is how I am organizing myself. Now, for the past 2 years, if not more, I have tried planners and like different things, and they don't stick. And one of the things that attracted me to Kaylee's video, that she talks about like the $1 notebook, is that I love the idea of having the flexibility to do whatever I want to do with this notebook, right? Like if I don't like something, I can like just pull up a page. But there's a thing with planners that I just feel like if you get something wrong, you just get like so sad and upset about it. I don't know if that's everybody, but that's definitely me. Like I don't want to mess up the planner. So I'm excited to give this notebook a try. I have actually been using notebooks for ages now, but I never really thought to kind of use it as a all-in-one solution. Obviously I take notes in my notebooks, like if I'm like taking a course or something, if I'm talking to a client, I'm taking notes in the notebook. If I have things to do, I'm taking notes in this notebook. So I'm excited to transfer over those things that I have been doing in those notebooks, which, by the way, the notebooks that I normally use, they're like the smaller kind of like diary journal size notebooks. That's what I use. I'm not quite sure the dimensions of what they are, but I'm excited to just, try everything in like one huge notebook and have everything there in one place. Honestly, like just by trying this out for a hot minute, I'm really loving the direction, right? So what do you do now if you're like, okay, you know what? I messed up. I didn't plan January right. Like, what do I do? So let me just tell you that my January was wild. I had a podcast launch for a client, and it was intense. We agreed to do this launch in like 4 weeks, which is a lot of time for the amount of like assets that we're giving back to the client. It was a lot of work. And then we actually signed on another client towards the end of the one client's launch. We signed on another client. So it has been super intense. And obviously, like, I feel super blessed that I have clients and that I am super busy because I have clients, right? But it was super intense. And I feel like I didn't get a chance to sit down at the end of December and plan out my goals for 2023 and like do all of those things. But here's the thing. If I'm being super honest with you and like myself, I have tried those things in the past and they did not really work, right? Like, and if anything, like trying to plan out my entire year in like one sitting when I don't know what's going to happen, oh, that kind of sets you up for failure, if I'm being super honest. Now, I think it's okay for you to have goals and grow in those things and like have this big picture vision that you want, but to think that you can plan your entire year in one sitting, at least for me, that gives me more anxiety than anything, So for me, what I'm going to be doing now, I am actually going to be planning life month by month, just because things change, things evolve, and I just want to give myself the flexibility to look back at the data, to see what's working, to see how I felt about certain projects, and if I'm like going to launch something. I just really want to make sure that I'm honoring how I feel versus trying to abide by, this plan that I set for myself one day of the year, not like knowing what's going to happen throughout the year. So I want to give myself the flexibility. And, if for whatever reason, you set goals and you already feel like you're falling behind, or you didn't have a chance to plan out your year and you're again feeling like you're falling behind, just take time and plan out a month. That's it. That's all you have to do. And, for me, while I did not sit down to think about my entire year and plan everything out, I did think about how I wanted to go about this year and what do I want overall? Like what is the overarching theme of my year? And I really wanted to simplify every aspect of my business. And I want to have better boundaries because I don't have really good boundaries, if I'm being super honest. The boundaries area of my life is just like not that good, So I want to have better boundaries and simplify my life. And this is all in the world of business, by the way. I'm really talking about business here, but obviously this can apply to whatever you want. If you want to include business and life and like whatever you do, I'm specifically talking about business here. So as far as my business goes, I want to really get rid of all the things like softwares and like things that I don't need, extra things that I'm paying for. I'm actually like wanting to make a switch from where I host my courses now over to another platform that charges like one single like fee, like lifetime fee versus paying for something monthly. Like I'm just looking at all the ways that I can really simplify my business and not have, 10,000 subscriptions and like all the other things, and not get caught up by the shiny object syndrome and, try to do all the courses and like hire all the coaches. I really just want to like kind of go in hermit mode a little bit and experiment with like the things that I know and keep things very streamlined and not feel like I have to do things because this is how I've always done things. So I honestly get this vibe that 2023 is going to be a year of expansion, but also like trying things out and see how it goes and being okay with experimenting. And I think it's important, especially as a business owner, that you do experiment with different things and that you have the flexibility because things change, right? If 2020 taught us anything, is that things change in a heartbeat, like overnight. So you have to be ready to be flexible and welcome and change and go with the flow. So I really hope that this episode has inspired you and has taken the pressure off of having to do things, perfectly in air quotes, or if you feel like, man, I already screwed up and I missed like January, like you can always start fresh and try just planning out 1 month in advance and see how that feels. And if that doesn't feel big enough, then like plan out a quarter, but don't feel like you need to have everything figured out in one day. And I don't know, you have to plan out all your launches for the year and have dates mapped out, because I also feel like that's super unrealistic and things are going to happen. And if you're so gung-ho and like so attached to like certain dates and things like that, and then you cannot fulfill on your promise to yourself on those things, it's going to be very hard on you. So have the flexibility. That is my biggest advice that I have for you. And by the way, I will leave Kaylee's video from the channel, But First Coffee. I will leave the link for you down below if you want to check it out. It's actually not a video. It's a short. So it's like 30 seconds or like a minute long. And I'll leave the link for you down below. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.